I also graduated from Greg's comedy class, and I learned a lot from Greg. One of the most important lessons that I learned as a comic is you never steal from another comic. And I just want to make one thing clear. I did not steal George Carlin's head. He took it with him. This is my own. I am a big fan of the fist bump greeting. First of all, it looks really cool. Secondly, it avoids the handshake. I'm not a big fan of the handshake because you don't know where this has been. You don't know if it's been in the bathroom. You don't know if it's been sneezed into. You don't know if it's been involved in vigorous nose picking. You don't know what kind of bacteria is crawling all over this. This, on the other hand, can't get into too much trouble compared with this. So when somebody sticks out this, I put out this. It says everything I need to say. Hello? How are you? Don't touch me, you filthy pig. As Greg said, I was recently a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It was a great experience. I got to meet Meredith Vieira. She is the sweetest, nicest person. She greeted me with her hands out as I came out onto the set. She said, "Who wants to be a millionaire?" I gave her a fist bump. I said, "Who wants to catch a communicable disease?" I love game shows, though. I also like Wheel of Fortune. Any wheel watchers out there? Okay. I enjoy the bonus puzzle at the end. It's usually a familiar person, a place, or a thing, or a common phrase. Recently, the common phrase was, squat down. In whose world is squat down a common phrase? And how often do you use that phrase in your everyday life? It doesn't work as a pickup line. Hey, you're looking pretty hot. How about coming up to my place and we'll squat down? Never heard it in a restaurant. Good evening, table for two? Squat down right here, and the waitress will be right with you. How about law enforcement? We've got the place around it, squat down with your hands up. Really? Really? Maybe I'll forget about stand-up comedy. I'll be the first squat down comic. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. I enjoy Facebook. Okay, a lot of Facebook people out there, I'm sure. One thing I like about it, it's really easy. It's so easy, my 2-year-old grandson figured it out. Every time you get him mad, he says, "I'm not your friend." By the way, if you are my Facebook friend, and I'm working my ass off, and you go away on vacation, I do not want to see the pictures of you having a great time at some exotic resort. I'm not your friend. Friends don't torture friends. I will defriend you, and then I will break into your house. I won't steal anything. I'll just invite your other working friends over. We'll drink all your booze and eat all your food. Welcome home, dumbass. My wife and I had a great vacation this year. We went out to the Finger Lakes, to one of those wine trails. You ever do that? You go from winery to winery, you have a wine tasting there. My wife said, "This is the best vacation we ever had," after a couple of wineries. I said, "That's because you're not driving with a bunch of inebriated tourists on a backcountry road next to a huge lake." I could hear the local farmers. "Fire up the tractor, Lester. Looks like there's another vehicle in the lake." Actually, I think this would be a great concept for local tourism. I know what you're thinking. We don't have wineries around here. Check this out. The Schenectady Crack House Trail. We produced this glossy brochure with a map of all the local crack houses. And crack aficionados, crackophiles, could go from crack house to crack house and compare tasting notes. This 2010 Brooklyn Rock has aromas of sulfur and burning garbage, produces a pronounced tweaking, and the subtle sensation of maggots crawling under the skin, followed by an insatiable craving for another hit. Right now! If this takes off, I got other ideas. We could have the Albany prostitute path, the Troy heroin hike, or how about the Amsterdam cannabis cruise? Blunts along the Mohawk. Found out recently my teenage son's been smoking pot. Man, my wife was cleaning up his room and she found his stash. Bag of weed, some papers, a pipe. It's a difficult thing for a parent to have to confront your kid about doing something that you might have done when you were their age. Right? Basically, you've got two choices. You confront your kid, or you smoke that shit up. Right? You know what I'm saying? I hear the stuff they got today is way better than the shit we had 40 years ago. A word to the wise, do not attempt to do both. No matter how uncomfortable you are with that discussion, do not do the number before the talk, right? Son, would you come down here, please? We need to have a talk. Sit down right here, please. This is very serious now. You know, your mom was in your room cleaning up, and she found your Oh, God, I'm hungry. Honey, do we have any more of those Doritos? All right, now, where were we? What was it you wanted to talk to me about again? Oh, forget about it. Here's 20 bucks. Get the hell out of here. It's just been a tough year. We had a break-in at our house. These guys must have been high on something with the stuff they took. My wife bought a wine rack out of the Finger Lakes. We had this pillow shaped like a cat. It was my grandmother's. I had a box of scrap metal on the back porch I was going to recycle. And to add insult to injury, I had a bag of pistachios on the kitchen counter. They ripped that open. There were shells all over the place. So I called the cops and said, I'd like to report a burglary. They said, did they take anything of value? I said, well, no, not really. But they grabbed my wife's rack. They snatched Grandma's pussy. They got a hold of my junk and they scattered my nuts all over the floor. Next thing I know, I got an ambulance and a squad car in front of my house, and I'm talking to a detective from the sex crimes unit. He finally straightened it all out. It was a misunderstanding. And when he finished with my report, he said, please call us if you think of anything else. I said, thank you, officer, I will. He put out his hand. I put out my fist. And I said, don't touch me, you filthy pig. Whoops. Anyway, I gotta stop. I'm feeling this tremendous urge to squat down. I'm Rich Angehr. Thanks a lot for coming out. Enjoy the rest of the